The question I have to ask you is, do you want to change the health of your world? Flags, by the way, flags. Flags. Okay, if we want to change the health of our world, we got to have more than 15% of it. So you can say that stuff all you want to, but you don't really want to unless you're dedicated to getting 80%, because it takes the majority of people in order to change the health of your world. 15% ain't going to get it. So you have to plant seeds. That's right. Thank you very much. You have to plant seeds, and that means we have to plant seeds for new patients. You do not naturally get new patients. We have to have them to reach the 80%, but they do not just appear, you guys. It does not just happen. See, that's the way, frankly, that's the way most doctors want it. They like to be able to kind of go into the formula that if you're a great doctor, the people will come. Well, here's the thing. I wish that were true. I wish that did it, and that was it. You don't need seeds, you just need to be a great doctor. Here's the deal. We used to have a song in children's church that went like this. Here's the church, and here's the steeple. Open the door, and there's all the people. You remember that one? Well, let me just tell you, it's just a song. It's no more true than a man in the moon. There's no such thing as just opening the door and all the people come. Nope. Whether it's a church or whether it's a practice, you got to plant the seeds if you're going to get the crop. It's a law. You guys, I keep trying to see. This is all that is. Don't be deceived. Don't be fooled. They didn't wake up naturally great. No church woke up as a mega church. Period. Even if they try to act like they did, they didn't. Everybody has to plant seeds to get a crop. So here's what has to happen. To get new patients, you've got to plant seeds, even if you're a great doctor, because let me just tell you something right now. There are thousands of practices filled with great doctors and great staff that are also broke. There just are. They're everywhere. So you're deceiving yourself. You're being fooled. Nope, that isn't going to get it. So here's the deal. What are some of those seeds that we must plant to get new patients? Well, I like to start with referrals and stuff, the inside stuff, the referrals. Every person, every new patient that you get is connected to at least 4 people that they could get there. Easy. When you figure in family, friends, church, work, all of it, they're connected to at least 4 that they could and should refer to you. So you need to think about this. We've got to be planting referral seeds. For instance, doctor, the proxy consultation. Don't say, well, I'm a doctor. Would you get out of here with your ego and let's get into the purpose? The purpose is to get the 80%. So I'm not interested in your ego. I'm interested in getting the 80%. I don't care if you're above it. You're not as far as I'm concerned. If we want a crop, we got to what? Plant. So every patient that comes in, you say, you're treating Sally. You say, Sally? Treat her for headaches. So you say, Sally, a lot of times headaches are hereditary. Is there anybody else in your family that's having headaches? Well, yeah, as a matter of fact, blah, blah, blah. Well, we need to get her in here then. Let me go ahead and take you to the front, and you can give June that person's name and contact all that, and we'll get them on the books right now. Let's get her done. They need to be in here. You don't want them to suffer with it. You see what I'm saying? You plant the seeds. Don't wait for everybody to do everything naturally, because they're naturally cruddy people. And because they're naturally cruddy people, that means they're thinking about themselves. And you have to move them outside of yourself. So you help them think of other people. How am I doing? Does all this make sense? You help people do the right thing. They'll be glad you did it once you help them do it, but they don't naturally do it themselves. They're not naturally that good. So proxy consultation is just an example of the possible referrals that you could get. Another opportunity is obviously patient appreciation days. Patient appreciation days, those aren't things that are old-fashioned or whatever. Those are things that, why is a patient appreciation day so important? Because it gives me, the patient, an excuse, a reason, a way, a vehicle to get somebody in to see you that should get there, but I needed a vehicle to get them to do it. So as soon as you have that, there's a Patient Appreciation Day. That means you can get them in here under this Patient Appreciation Day, and it's the perfect time to get started. That's getting in-house, in-office, I guess we should say, referrals. So the same thing definitely is true with Gift of Health. We've got Gift of Health coming up, here real soon. What does Gift of Health do? It gives people a way, a vehicle, to get people in there to see you because you want them. You're out to change the health of your world. You want the 80%. So let's get them in any way and every way. Flags, 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 flags. There's also the Patient Retention Booster Program. If you don't have it, you're missing seeds. See, we got to plant seeds, plant all seeds. It's just something that you need to have and do. It's just too big of a deal. It's too important. Now I'm going to talk about some of the things that's in there now that we just added. But before I do that, let me mention another important part, and that is screenings. All of us should be doing at least 5 screenings a week. Now, for some reason, our mentality is more of like 1 a month, and we're real proud of that. No. We got to raise the bar. We've got to plant more seeds. So we need one every day because we wake up. Thank you, all 3 of you. We wake up planting. Maybe I should start at slide 1 again. Just make sure. We wake up planting. So we want to plant every day. So Monday through Friday, we want to have a screening where we are planting seeds to get new patients. Now, it's never been easier to do this than the way we have it set up now and the way that it is. The structure is perfect. And we referred you to a company that does a great job with those screening tools. And so here's what we want to do. I was talking like this. Ryan was talking like this. And then we had to call Joel and say, after we came up with a patient retention program, we said, well, we need to add these things to it. Yeah. So here we go. So here's the deal. The retention booster includes something called ChiroLink. And what this does is it enables your patient to be able to connect with your office so that they are kind of one of you. It almost puts them on staff there with you so that by using your own personal QR code that comes with ChiroLink, then when your patient leaves, and all they have to have is a phone, when your patient leaves there, here's what happens when they leave in case you don't know. Whenever they leave there, they go starting to talk to people. Let's say that they start with their staff, and their spouse says, well, honey, what did you find out? And she says, well, I don't know. She said a lot of stuff, but it's this, that, the other, and all I know is I got to come back this many times or something. What are you going to do that? Instead of that, what you want is they can bring you right in. They can bring their spouse right in there with getting everything that they already got in the office and use it to show them so that they can do it. And the same thing's true because friends do it all the time too. Because when somebody knows that you are hurting in one way or another, all your friends know it, and they always say, well, what have you done? What are you doing? Well, let me just show you. And this enables them to give even an accurate representation of what you do and how you do it, and gives them the confidence that they can do it. Then, in this same ChiroLink, after they can share this with you straight from your office, because they're connected then to your office, they show this, and then this will even enable them to refer them to you with an email without an email address or a download or an app installation. It just works. You can do it. So it's a perfect way to get referral new patients. And it's a seed, so you should start planting it. Another thing on this retention booster is the screening leads. This is another neat thing, because if you're going to be doing one every day, you need to have it as simple as you possibly can, right? So it made it much easier when you got the Posture Screen mobile app. But still you had the problem or burden with paperwork and junk. And you were doing lots of paper and lots of work, and then you go back to the office, then you got to fill out more, and then blah, blah, blah is how it goes. Well, now you can do it for you. You can ask them the questions. You can put it right there on your tablet, and then you have it all together, one time, one place, and you can send an appointment notification to your office and a separate notification to your prospective new patient, all with all the information already there, and you can do it with one send, and you're done. And it's in the office, it's to the patient, and you don't have to go back and do all the work. Is that better or what, everybody? That's just clear and simple. Because if you're only going to do once every 6 months, then this probably isn't necessary. But if you're going to wake up planting, you want to have a way to do this, let's streamline this thing and get it going. So, and not only that, once you submitted it, then it resets itself in 5 seconds. So you're ready to move to the next person. So it's a great deal. Now, you have all these services that have been added to your retention booster program. And the truth is, because we just happen to have him here today, not usually here, but I want to introduce to you our IT director at Integrity, is Joel Nelson. Joel, stand up. This guy is one really great person for us, and I will tell you, he just finished, when we had this idea, it was one thing, he did have to put it on the program so that everybody who added it now, it'll already be there, but we had already, 200 offices or so were already using it when we came up with it. So we had to go back and reinstall those on all those 200 offices, which he's kind of just now finished, and now we start from scratch, with everybody. So we appreciate your work on that, Joel. That was a tremendous thing. And he does a tremendous job. So, first thing we got to do is we got to plant. Did I do all those, by the way? I guess I did. Okay, then, second thing we need to do is we need to plant wellness seeds. So we're going to get more new patients. Everybody's with it? We're going to do the screenings. We're going to do the stuff. We're going to plant every day. Every day we're going for new patients. How many days? Every day. Right. And everybody's got to do it. Nobody's above new patients. New patients is the reason why you woke up. Second thing is we plant wellness seeds, you guys. It isn't enough just to get them in and get them out of pain. We got to plant wellness so that they are continually getting treated with chiropractic. So you can't just naturally have a wellness practice. You have to plant it. So I would ask you one thing. I'd say, well, how many wellness patients do you want a month, let's say? I don't know if you'd say 5,000 or 10,000 or 50,000. I'm not sure what you'd say, but I do know this. It isn't going to happen naturally. So then here's the question we got to answer is so that you're saying, well, I just don't see how it works. I don't see how we can do it because, unless insurance covers it, they don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. They want to pay for it. The reason why you're not getting wellness patients is you're not planting the seeds. You say, well, we don't have very many, but it's because in our area, please. Gravity doesn't work in your town, really? Hello, there we go. You're telling me that you guys wake up and you float? Or does gravity work in your town too? It's a law. Don't tell me it doesn't work. If you plant, you're going to get it. The only way you get this kind of wellness crop is if you plant lots of wellness seeds. So, you can't expect it unless you plant it. So, what are you going to do? Here's the deal. The reason why most people don't have a good wellness practice is because they don't plant the seeds. So we have a way that you can do it. Okay? Okay, Aaron, I'm going to borrow you for a second. Go ahead and stand up. Now, what I'd like for you to do is I'd like for you to step on this first step, if you would. Go ahead. Okay, now that's interesting. Okay, now go ahead and step all the way up. Get on the step. Okay, now I want you to step on this one. Huh. It worked for him on both steps. Okay, go ahead and step on this. Huh. Now you're taller than me. Now I don't like it. Now here's kind of the interesting thing. Do you think that if your wife did it too, do you think she'd go up if she got on the steps?
I do.
Do you think it'd work for her?
Mm-hmm.
And it works for you? Because if it's a step, there's really nothing to work. You just go up if you step on it.
Correct.
Now when you put your foot on it, you didn't go up, but when you stepped on it,
I went up.
you went up. Huh. Does everybody get this concept? So you tell me, no, that doesn't work. Not for wellness. It doesn't work. Oh, no. You're telling me that you got on the step, both feet, and you didn't go up. Thank you, Aaron. Now, here's the thing I want you to get, you guys. Maybe you can talk your coach into that. Maybe you can talk some of our other staff. Don't even think about talking to me like that. Because I'm just not that stupid. The truth is, if you do it, you get it. If you plant the wellness seeds, you want a wellness practice, plant the seeds, you get what you plant. Here's what it is. Whatever you plant, you get. Say it. Whatever you plant, you get. Whatever you plant, you get. So I'm guessing if you plant wellness, you'll get it. You. So look, we have the wellness seeds that are planted throughout their care. When they come in, from the first day, from the report of findings, they hear about wellness. They hear about it, they know about it, and they get these reports continually throughout their care, so that by the time they get to the end of it, there's really no discussion. They'll do it because you planted the seeds, and you'll get the crop. So if you're not getting the wellness visits, what do I know? You're not doing it. You're not doing it. You're not planting seeds. Because if you planted seeds, bucko, you can't plant apples and get oranges. You didn't plant it. So wake up planting. So we do it through the whole thing. Then you win. Another one for you to plant. More seeds to plant. Is plant seeds for happiness. How many of you in here want to be happy? Now here's the catch, you guys. All of us in here, I think, want happiness. But we don't want to plant the seeds for happiness. We want happiness just to be. We think differently about happiness than what it really is. We have to do the opposite to what we think makes us happy. So here's some points. Most of us think that happy comes from a set of circumstances. Well, I can't be happy right now because I have these problems. And as soon as I don't have these problems, then I'll be happy. Then we would say things like, well, I'm not happy right now because I'm just under so much pressure. I'm under so much pressure. I've got all this pressure. I've got pressure, and maybe it's time pressure. I've just got too many irons in the fire. And so we say, oh, I've got all these things, and I'm just so busy. I've got all these time pressures, but if I could only unload a bunch of this work, then I would be happy. Or we say, finance, well, right now I'm under this financial pressure. And I'm going to tell you right now, if I didn't have these financial pressure, I'd be happy if I didn't have the financial pressure. But I tell you, with this financial pressure, it's just too much. As soon as I get rid of this financial pressure, then I'll be. See, happiness is dependent on all these circumstances. Oh, work. Oh, so much pressure at work. Or parenting. Oh, boy, I've got 7 kids, all under the age of 3 months. And I've got so much pressure. Have I got the pressure? And as soon as I get them out of diapers, or then as soon as I get them in school, as soon as I get them out of school, blah, 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 then I'll be. Yeah. No, you won't. No, you won't. Because happiness isn't based on that, you see. I'll tell you another one that we say, because we think happiness is circumstances. Another one is crazy people. How many of you know some crazy people? Crazy people, crazy. Oh yeah, people are crazy rats, man. If I only didn't have these crazy people in my life, I've got these really crazy people. But if I could get rid of this, and that could be a relative. How many of you have a crazy relative? Well, don't wave at that enthusiastically. How many of you have ever worked for, in the past, some crazy people? Way back there. Well, here's the deal. If I could only get rid of those crazy people, crazy friends, then I would be happy. When I can get them to it's all normal people. What's the problem, everybody? Happiness doesn't come from the elimination or the absence of problems. Here's the reason. As soon as you get rid of one reason to not be happy, what's going to come back up? Another reason to not be happy. It really leads me to this little line, you guys. It's hard to take, but it's the way it is. If you can't be happy now, you can't be happy. Because Jesus said, in this world, that's pretty sure where we are, I'm pretty sure. In this world, you will have trouble. So if we make the absence of trouble or the absence of problems or the absence of pressure, if we make that the criteria for being happy, we are never going to be happy because it's always there. What we have to learn is how to be happy in spite of the fact that we live in this world. All in favor, say aye. So that's what I want us to see. Now, to be able to do it, we don't eliminate everybody and everything in our world. We have to start planting some happiness seeds. So here's how you do it. To get happy, you got to make others happy. That's a rip. Who wants to make other people happy? I want to be happy. To be happy, you have to make others happy. Proverbs 11:25 says, those who help others are helped. See, it's the opposite of what we would think. So we wake up planting happy. We want to then make our family happy. We want to make our team happy. We want to make our patients happy. And when we make them happy, it makes us happy. That's a weird thing. In other words, it's whoever God puts in our path, we should wake up planting happiness seeds in them. Doing what we can to make them happy. It means we stop thinking about ourselves and we start thinking about others. It's real easy to start feeling sorry for yourself. It's real easy to start thinking about all the things you have to do. It's real easy to start thinking about, I'm under so much pressure. I just think, sometimes I just think, what about me? Hey. You want to be happy? Here's the thing. It's not that I don't understand that. It's not that I don't get it. Here's the reason I don't recommend it. It won't work. You'll still come out not happy. That's why I don't recommend it. You've got to plant happiness seeds. So, here's what we do. Here's what I choose to do. I start planting happiness seeds, and here's how I do it. I start with God. My first thing is, I want to make God happy. I just do. And somehow when I make Him happy, it makes me happy. I think the reason is because I work for God. He hired me. I'm a laborer with Him. And so since I work for Him, and I'm surprised that He ever hired me, because I wouldn't have, because He hired me and I work for Him, it makes me happy when I make Him happy. So I plant seeds of happiness. I want to make God happy. That's not all. I've been married for 47 years. Now, what is the key? And I love it. Here's the deal. I happen to subscribe to planting seeds of happiness in my wife. I wake up thinking ways, honestly, to make her happy. I subscribe to the philosophy, anybody know what it is? Happy wife, happy life. Now, that's just because it works. That's the only reason. I want to make my family happy. We were just talking about grandkids. Boy, you have grandkids and the things that changes. We wake up thinking of ways to make our grandkids happy. And I'm telling you, whenever I see one of my grandkids not happy, oh, buddy, you might as well take a gun and blow my head off. Can't stand it, because I spend my time planting happiness in my family's life. How am I doing, everybody? Does this make sense? And making them happy makes me happy. So, if we get it and how this really works, now I know what I'm saying this, it sounds like I've said, oh, Keith, you're such a wonderful person. No, I'm born cruddy. I know I'm cruddy. Don't give me the halo. I don't deserve the halo. It isn't because I'm a good person. It's because I like happy. And I know that if I'm going to be happy, I got to plant happy. It's the path. It's a law. So how am I doing, everybody? So as selfish as it sounds, I do all this for other people because that's what makes me, yeah, it's selfish. All the way around, selfish. I'm selfish because if I lived to make me happy, I would be above all people miserable. You have to stop thinking about yourself. You have to stop feeling sorry for yourself. All of you have been with us for a while, you know I'm kind of famous for saying, but it's true, I don't feel sorry for you. And you know the reason I don't? I don't. Because I know it won't work. You just need to start planting. Wake up planting. Plant greatness seeds. Plant happy seeds. You make people happy, you're going to be what? You're going to be rich in happiness. All in favor? If you want to be rich and happy, wave your flag. Then get on your mission to make everybody happy. Another thing is plant seeds for the heart, to have a great heart. Those seeds would be things like grace, peace, character, love, generosity. Here's the way it works, you guys. These are important things for life, but it changes everything for you. Most of us want to be given grace because most of us know that we're going to mess up. So I know that I'm going to mess up. I know that I'm going to need grace. So then I'm going to want you to give me grace when I need it. But the problem is I just can't expect the crop without having planted the seeds. If I want grace, I got to plant grace. That's right. I've got to plant it. Plant seeds of grace if that's the kind of crop that you want to get. If you don't, if you show judgment instead of grace, what are you going to get when the time comes? You're going to get judgment. And here's the part, if you remember the keys from there, you're going to get more judgment than you gave. Because it comes back as a crop, not just a seed. A lot of us these days, we want peace. We want to have a peace. We want to feel peace. We want a life of peace. The catch about having a life of peace is that if you want a life of peace, you got to be a peacemaker. And most of us don't commit to being a peacemaker. We just want peace. So say, well, why can't we all get along? Well, because you aren't planting seeds of getting along. You plant it, you'll get it. Here's the deal, you guys. In order to reap peace, you got to plant peace in your office. You're a peacemaker in the office. You don't stir up trouble. You don't stir up gossip. You can't hardly wait to get in and tell them, no. You don't stir up any of that. You're a peacemaker. You plant peace in the office and you'll get that. If you want peace in your home, you've got to plant peace. Be a peacemaker. In your church, be a peacemaker. Instead of being a drama person. How many of you know drama people? They're a walking stir of drama. Now, I'll tell you what that means. I'll tell you why I feel sorry for them is because it means that they've got a life of drama. Because they get a crop back from the seeds. Unrest, controversy. You know, with a lot of people, I can almost always predict when they're going to come tell me, they're going to come, you're not going to believe what happened to me today. I'm always thinking, yeah, I really will, because you've planted these seeds. You're not going to believe what they did to me. You're not going to believe what they said. Yeah, I probably am. Because you plant those seeds. How many of you know what I'm talking about? It's a seed thing. It's a plant thing. It's a law. So, here's a little deal. If you want to be given patience, what have you got to plant all the time, daily? Patience. It's a law. How many of you thought you were enjoying this until about now? Now it's getting a little... Plant character seeds. This is a biggie too, you guys. I'll kind of give you... This is kind of an interesting one, but... our granddaughter, our only granddaughter, Brian and Amber's, is Summer. Summer is going to be 12 here this next month. Now, Summer, the other day, we were talking about a restaurant that maybe everybody would want to go to. And so we were talking about, and it's one of those restaurants where they charge by the age, you know, it's kind of a buffet type of a deal or something. And so once you turn a certain age, it costs this much if you're 6, it costs this much if you're 12, and all that kind of thing. Well, the break-off, you have to pay the adult price if you're 12. Well, this was her birth month. And so we were talking about, well, how much would it cost? And Summer said, well, Daddy, can we just tell him I'm 11? And I said, Ryan, what's the answer? Now, the reason I asked him what's the answer is because he asked me the exact same question when he was that age. And we were standing in line to a movie, and it was his first time for me to buy him an adult ticket to the movie. And he said, well, you think we could tell him I'm... And I just wondered, because this was 30 years ago, I wondered if he remembered the answer. So I said, Ryan, what's the answer? He said, Summer, I don't want to go to hell for $5. You know, character stands out, really. You think it doesn't, but it does. There's a whole lot of things I told him 30 years ago he doesn't remember. I can tell you that right now. But those little things you kind of remember. Because you see, it isn't an issue of how much money it is. It's an issue of whether you do the honest thing and the right thing or you don't. And so God basically said, if you'll be faithful over the little things, I'll make you faithful over a lot of things. We call that the crop and the seed. And it always comes back. It's a character thing. And you have to plant seeds of character. Because remember, your patients are always watching. Remember, your team is always watching. And it's important that you always do the right thing, the integrity thing, the honest thing. All in favor say aye? Aye. Plant love seeds. That's another one you got to be committed to planting. Plant love seeds. And the reason you need to plant them is because love never fails. Everybody say that. Now say, love never fails. Now say, love never fails. Now say this, love never fails. I guess that means it always works. So if we are failing in a certain area, what should we do? Yeah, we probably need to leave. Probably ought to increase the old love factor. So as an example, when you're falling short on your 5-year plan, or you're falling short on your dreams, you don't lower the dream. You increase the love. You increase the seeds. Why? Because love never fails. Would it work if we do this? It really would, because love never fails. We may have a shortage of loving our patients like we should. Story about this is Joseph in the Bible. Joseph, the guy, was one of 12 brothers, you know, and his father, whose name was Jacob, he gave Joseph a multicolored coat of honor. And he gave it to Joseph, and he didn't give it to anybody else. Well, guess what the other 11 thought? They're saying, I know you didn't, you're supposed to say, they were real happy for him. Like, no, not even close. Why does he get it? Whew. And the envy seeds and the jealousy seeds and the resentment seeds, all these things start getting planted toward Joseph. Matter of fact, they took their brother Joseph, they sold him as a slave. And they took his coat and they killed an animal and they drenched the coat in blood so that they could take it to their father Jacob and tell him that Joseph is dead. Boy, see, I want you to pick up on this story, you guys. The pickup on this story is jealousy is not the right seed to plant. Envy isn't the right seed to plant, you guys. If we do that, we're going to get that kind of crop, and it's not going to be good. So what they did is they started planting these seeds of jealousy and envy and resentment. And they sold him off as a slave. He was taken away. He was made to be dead. And he ended up being in prison. That's probably not looking too good. What do you all think? And maybe he's looking like he's the one that's going to lose and the brothers are going to win. It's going to look like this is going to work. Here's what happened. While he was in prison there, God gave him the ability to interpret dreams, interpret the dream of the king, Pharaoh. And when nobody else could do it, Joseph could. And Joseph got promoted from prison to being right next to the Pharaoh on the throne at the top. This is pretty good, you guys. I think it's pretty good. Because then you know what happened? His brothers ended up going broke. Instead of everybody getting a coat, like they thought would be the deal, they not only didn't get a coat, they couldn't even get any food, you guys. They lost everything they had, and they had to scurry to Egypt to beg for shelter and food. So they ended up coming to Egypt and going to the throne to beg for food and shelter. Guess who? And they didn't even realize who it was. Guess who they ended up begging to? Joseph. Whoa, buddy. Now, just to keep the story straight, did Joseph have every right and reason to say, get out of here, man? You sold me as a slave. You wrote me off as dead. Go live with it. Is that what he did? You know why? Wrong seed. You plant love seeds even when you don't have a reason, even when you have a right not to, even when they don't deserve it. You plant. Is everybody getting this message? You plant love seeds, and then it comes back to you. So here's the point for us. Which seeds produced a better crop? Jealousy, envy, hatred, resentment, lies, or love, grace, and generosity? Which one should we probably be committed to? I won't tell you because I'm right. Next seed that you got to plant is generosity seeds. Try this as an exercise. Don't look at what you can get. Look at what you can give. If you want greatness, don't look at what others should give to you. Look at what you can give to others. If you want to be great, make others great. Here's the key. The great ones don't set their heart or their goals on making themselves great at the expense of others. They set their goals on making others great at the expense of themselves. They are, you guys, servants. Life isn't about others serving me or my wants or my needs. Way past that. Found that it doesn't pay. The truth is, it's about me serving you, serving others. I'm here today, not because I always kind of feel like it, but because it's a seed. I'm a servant, and I'm here to plant some seeds inside of every one of you. So, in some instances, my son and my wife would say, if I have to crawl, I'll crawl. Do you know why? I wake up planting. And as long as I'm alive, I'm going to plant. And I'm going to plant seeds of greatness. So I can look at you and I can say, there isn't anywhere I'd rather be than right here, right now. I'm in the right place at the right time. Now, you guys, when we catch hold of how good it is to be a servant, today is about making you great. Having you find and enjoy more than you ever dreamed or imagined. Bringing Deshauna Barber here, there's only one purpose. It's for you to have immeasurably more than you ever dreamed or imagined. Don't put any big halo over my head. Every time I make you great, I get to enjoy a crop of greatness. It's the way it works. Now, your generosity gift to the world is great health. That's what you're here to give. That's your purpose. So everybody say this after me, the way I say it. I am born to heal. Now, you guys, that's your purpose. That's why you're here. And you're supposed to give us that. And a lot of times you look for ways not to do it. A lot of times you're looking for, you want to be off. You want to be somewhere else. You want to be on the beach. Wait. This is your purpose. That's the reason you woke up. You woke up. I wouldn't rather be on the beach. I'd rather be here right now. I woke up to do, this is the reason. I was born for this. Now, you may think it's kind of goofy. You might say, well, I thought you'd be better at this if you were born for it. Well, I probably should be better, but I'm telling you, I was born to do this. No doubt in my mind. I was born to be here with you guys to serve you. I was born for this. It's awesome for me. And your purpose can change the health of your world when you choose to give it. So then I had to say, do you believe you? So then say this after me. I can change the health of my world. So I will do whatever it takes. Do whatever it takes. Because I believe. I was born for this. So you will give whatever it takes to make this happen in the lives of your community. You were born for this. Not for you. You weren't born for you. Stop looking at you. Or I go, I don't care about you. I care about you experiencing immeasurably more by planting the seeds. You've got to commit yourself to this and the crop. Greatness. You plant greatness seeds. Immeasurably more than you ever dreamed or imagined. Now, how am I doing, everybody? Guess what? I can't get to the whole rest of this because it's your fault. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything wrong. Nevertheless, can we get somewhere with what we talked about there? I think it's important. Are we going to do it? Are we going to do it? Where's your flags? Okay. We get to take a, 7-minute break maybe? 8-minute break and then come back. It all goes downhill from here, but good luck.